Hi, everybody. Welcome to Magic Universe. This is message from Universe 31. This is a message that is matching your energy at this time whenever you come upon this video, and it's also a part of the Pick a Message playlist, which you can find the instructions on how to play with the playlist in the description below. I have also recently created the message of the day, daily messages, into a Pick a Daily playlist. So you have two playlists to play with, and the instructions are the same. You just focus on a question and let a number surface in your mind, and then you go to the corresponding reading. Okay, so it works just like pick a cards, but it's over a whole playlist instead of like just within one reading. Okay, so you can get the fuller instructions of that in the description below, and all the links are there too. If you're interested in a more private reading, because these are group readings and more general messages, but if you wanted something that's more specific to you and more specific to whatever situation that you want to ask about, then you can go to my website at magicuniverse.co. I also do energy healings, and I relay messages from your spirit guides, the healing guides that work with you in your energy space. Okay, so that's at magicuniverse.co. That's .co. Thank you. And here is message from Universe 31. Enjoy. Okay, so the colors that I'm seeing this message vibrate at, it started off at yellow, and then it wanted to move up, kind of like in a volcano, into an orange color. So there's like a transformation that's happening where you're starting off yellow and you're ending up orange. And you're more in the yellow part than the orange part right now. And so that's the color that I'm seeing you at, and I'm seeing that it's about transformation. And so the very interesting thing, which I didn't even notice until like a whole bunch of these cards came out, is that the first card that came out for you has these colors, and it has that kind of almost volcanic kind of imagery, right? This is the Yang card, which is very has a very similar energy to the Ace of Wands, which is about action, about power, about the beginnings of explosions, right? The beginnings of passion, taking action on something. Okay, so that's pretty much what I was seeing in this. So I thought that was very interesting how it came out like that, and you'll see in the spread that the oranges and the yellows kind of play pretty prominently, especially in the first row, and then in the beginning parts of the second row where you have like the sun, the sunflower and the Queen of Wands, and then also the yellow and the Nine of Pentacles, right? And then right here you have this yellow turning to the orangey kind of color, like the Wheel of Fortune is a little bit more orangey than yellow. And it's so funny because the Six of Swords is about movement too, so it's like you're moving towards this Wheel of Fortune, which looks really good. So the general message, it took me a little bit to kind of figure out like, what is this talking about? Like, the energy looks good, but at the same time it there's something deeper about it than what it is on the surface. Because if I were to read each card like just on the surface, then I would be like, oh yeah, this is about taking action, the beginning of passion, and this is about this, and this is about that. But I felt like it was more. It was more. And so when I really looked deep into it, I kind of got this general overall message about effort versus ease. And kind of like this masculine versus feminine kind of thing also emerged, right? There was something that I read recently where there were some people who weren't understanding. This is on another website. It's like somebody else's video, and the people. Oh, actually, no, it wasn't a video. It was on a website. It was a comment about somebody who made videos, and the people weren't understanding YouTubers' use of the words masculine and feminine, thinking that it's about men and women. And, masculine and feminine, we're describing energies. They're adjectives for energies, right? Or like traits, right? And so if you're a person that's in a man body, right, you can have masculine, actually everybody does, everybody has masculine and feminine energies. And whether you're in a man's body or a woman's body, like everybody has masculine and feminine energies. And so that YouTuber's use of the words masculine and feminine only talked about like spiritual energy, meaning like masculine was more like the effort, like taking action, the out moving energy, right? And the feminine's like being more receptive and allowing, and the flowing in of the energy, right? And so that's all she meant. But like these people were not understanding what it meant, thinking, relating it to man and woman. So I I'm bringing this up because like this spread actually talks about that. So here you have the yang, which is masculine, the masculine energy. Yang in Chinese means masculine. And so this is talking about like using effort, taking action on something, right? And then you have over here the flower spirit, which is being receptive. I've always read this card as like this little flower girl, this little flower spirit receiving from the spiritual realm, receiving messages from her spirit guides, receiving from the universe, and just being open and receptive, right? And it's so interesting because I've gotten this card many, many times, but I never really looked at the flower and said, oh, hey, I think that's an iris flower, right? But today, when I got this card immediately, I was like, that's an iris. And I'm not that familiar with flowers, so I had to go look it up and make sure that that is an iris flower, and it is. And there's a message here, which I'm going to show you, about the spiritual meaning of irises. So goddess symbol. Iris represents the goddess. The goddess Iris is the rainbow and the messenger of the gods, right? A goddess of the sea and sky. She is associated with communication, messages, the rainbow, and new endeavors. And then if you scroll, she is known as one of the goddesses who links the sea with the sky, connecting the spirit world to the physical world, which is exactly what I'm seeing here, where you're receiving from the spirit world, right? Where was I? Goddess of sky. Wait. Okay. Spirit with physical, linking heaven with earth as a divine messenger. Okay. And then often the goddess Iris appears in meditations as amber color, which is kind of like this, right? Kind of like this yellow and this orangey color. And rules over mediumship or the messages from the living to the dead and vice versa. It is thought Iris links the gods to humanity, and it is believed the flower is named after her. And so it talks about some other stuff. And then amber or amber golden often symbolizes divinity or spiritual healing and intuition. The most common iris colors, gold and purple together, express divinity and intuition. So the overall symbol right here, the goddess Iris, the flower iris, and the colors of the flower itself combine to form the perfect symbolism for a universal and sacred connection to spirit. This is a spiritually symbolic flower. Iris usually symbolizes a trinity, a divine link between the heaven and earth realms, psychic abilities, and intuition, divine truth, hope, and rebirth. Okay, so I read all of that to you because that's exactly how I've been reading this card without knowing that that's what the iris flower meant. So this is about receiving, receptive, and this is the feminine. So you have the cross over, like the heaven and earth, the human effort with the spirit, the receiving of spirit. Okay, I mean, effort and action is not, we're not saying good or bad here. We're just saying these are two different things, and they're opposite sides of each other, right? Both are necessary. Both are necessary. And the message is really about being in connection first and then taking action, like one before the other. And a lot of times in human life, because people generally only see the physical earth as physical and they don't take into account the spiritual realm, that they only do things by physical means, and then therefore it means a lot of action with very little receptivity, right? But effort versus ease, if you connect first and then you take action, there's a that effort can turn into ease. Like, it doesn't have to be hard. And you can apply this to like specific actions in life, specific situations in life, or just life in general, right? A lot of people are going through struggles, struggles in relationships, struggles in their work, struggles in daily life. And it's like you're really pushing against things. And Spirit is saying that if you will be more receptive, then all of the actions that you take can be so much easier. Your efforts will net you things, will yield more results with more ease, right? So the Six of Swords talks about moving from one position to another position, moving from A to B. And it talks about moving from a place, leaving unwanted, towards something that's more positive, more hopeful. And I love that it's moving towards this Wheel of Fortune. So it's like in you moving forward, the wheel turns and moves you into the next phase. So there's forward movement here. The other thing that I'm seeing from these two cards is like, you see this stork using effort to row his boat, whereas the wheel turns. Because the wheel turns, that's just the natural flow of the universe, is that the wheel turns, right? So again, this is like effort and ease, right? Effort and ease. If you will see yourself more as a spiritual being living a physical life instead of just a human being that's struggling through life where nothing makes sense, if you will rise higher and bring yourself to the point of being able to see the bigger picture and being able to see that there is a wheel, seeing that the wheel does turn, then you won't feel stuck or get stuck in any part of physical life where it feels like things aren't moving, right? Because the wheel always turns. Okay. I feel like that's a message for somebody specific out there. That there are some of you out there who have like a general philosophy or view of life where things are just hard. And Spirit is saying you can ease up on that because it's your own belief that of how you're perceiving life as being hard that makes it feel like it's hard. Whereas there could be a person right next to you that's doing the exact same thing that you are, and they're having a fun time. Have you ever done that? Have you ever been in a situation where you and this other person are doing the exact same thing, but they're like breezy about it, they're whistling through their day and they're having a good time, but like you yourself, you're kind of like, this drudgery, it's like, where's my next cup of coffee? Like, when is my next coffee break that I can just stop doing this already? Whereas that other person who's having an easy time doing the exact same thing is like filled with hopes and dreams in their mind, and they're like living it up, having such a great time. It's like, it's all about perception, right? If you can change the way you view your life view of things, of how things work, instead of seeing it as just a lot of pushing, a lot of hard work, right? Like even this, the Nine of Wands, a lot of pushing, a lot of hard work, and when is it going to be over? I've been doing this a long time. When is this going to be over, right? And be able to see that, hey, look at this, Nine of Wands, Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Wands, struggle, Nine of Pentacles, ease, effort, ease. I feel like this is the same person. They even kind of look like the same person, right? This is a person who has gone through a lot and is like wondering, like, all of my effort, is it going to anything? Am I ever going to find completion and fulfillment? This is fulfillment right here. The fruits of her labor is all up in her hat. And she's having a good time. She's enjoying, flourishing, right? Enjoying what she has put her action towards, and her actions have yielded a lot for her because she was connected, because she was receptive, right? And then here's where I'm seeing growth. Here's a girl with a flower, and here's a woman with a flower. The growth between this person to this person, right? And both of these cards are about joy too. The Queen of Wands talks about optimism, positively, joy, knowing who you are, right? Being in the spotlight of who you are. Talks about beauty. And the flower spirit, I'm going to read that from the book because the book meaning actually talks about joy. Flower spirit, friendship, soul, tenderness, joy. This card shows the tender and sensitive flower fairy, the soul of each plant. She listens with all her heart to her friends and provides a soothing caress when their edges get prickly. By enjoying life and keeping the playfulness in her heart, she is a source of inspiration and joy. Her childlike vision helps her see the good in all things, especially herself. So I feel like there's growth between this girl to this girl. It's that movement from the yellow to the orange. It's the movement from receiving from spirit and then living out that energy with in the on the physical realm with action. Because this is the wands, right? And we were talking about this. This is equivalent to the Ace of Wands, and this is the Queen of Wands. So this is like movement from the beginning to the fruition, right? So there's movement. So it's not talking about no action, but it's talking about taking inspired action. When you're receptive first and then you take action, you're a queen, you know? But if you don't become receptive first and you just take action, then you're like her. You're like trying so hard. Am I getting anywhere? Even if you are getting somewhere, you're not seeing it because you're in the midst of all the muck and mire, you know? But, this card does show you, nine. Nine is near the end. 10 is the end, right? So you are close to fruition, but if you keep focusing on how hard everything is, you're not going to even see that you're near the end, and you're just going to be struggling all the way through. And then when you do get to the end, then it's like, oh my God, I'm so tired. It's finished, but God, I am so tired, because the 10 of Wands, which didn't show up here, but the 10 of Wands just talks about a lot of effort. Then the person just being completely fatigued and overwhelmed, right? So Spirit is saying it doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be like that. You can work like this, inspired action, right? With a lot of joy. Okay. So then we have Storm Angel, collision of beliefs, styles, attitudes, and energies. So the next card that came after that, I'm reading these two together because of the color scheme, and also they came one right after the other, and it actually works so well. Love is all around you. There is love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge this as truth. I feel like in that in the main message of effort versus ease, this is effort, this is ease. Okay. And so moving the conversation to not just talking about physical action or taking physical action or physical effort. Let's talk about the belief of something, right? So what is effort in your belief system? Effort in your belief system is like, here, I'll put it here so you can see it. Effort in your belief system is like, say you believe in something, and then a bunch of other people out there in the world somewhere, they don't believe the same thing that you do. And instead of you just relishing in your own belief for yourself and living your life in your own truth, you look out there and you're like, but they don't believe the same thing that I do. I need to go change their mind. I need to do something. I need to do something about that, right? That's effort to try to get everybody to agree with you in terms of like how life should be lived. That's pushing against a lot of resistance because everybody has their own beliefs about how they want to live. And you know, that thing about live and let live, let it be, it's like just everybody is allowed to have their own beliefs about how they want to live their life. And if you find that other people aren't living up to your standards of how you think you should believe and you're struggling against that, that's a lot of collision of energies. That's a lot of effort in your energies where it doesn't need to be that way, right? That's like, I think we talked about this in one of the readings earlier this week, where you look at something and you're able to see the pros of something. Like people always like make lists of pro versus con, right? Then you're seeing two sides of an issue. That's split energy. But if you will always focus on the pro for yourself, then your energy moves in one direction, and it does move with a flow, right? It moves with the flow. But if you're like pro con, then it's like there's two separate things going on, and it splits your energy. And so this is what happens. You know, it's a collision, right? And so that's effort in beliefs. This is ease in beliefs. Love is all around you. There is love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge this as truth. This is talking about being out in the world, seeing all the differences in everybody and all of their beliefs. And it's like being in your own lane, bro. You know, it's like I'm dancing in my own lane and you dance in your own lane, and we're all moving forward and it's all cool. It's like if you make the quote effort, right? If you're going to make any effort, make the effort to see love everywhere, because everybody has points that are harmonious with you and points that are in conflict with you. And it's like, which do you choose to focus on? The pros or the cons, right? Do you want to, if you look, you can find the loveliest person in the world and find something about that person that just irks you and rubs you the wrong way. If you look for it, it will be there because they're not you. And even you yourself, you might look at yourself and find things that irritate yourself, right? And it's like, if you focus on things that are contrasting, that go against your grain, you will find it. If you will look for things that are in harmony with you, that is love, you will find it. So it's effort versus ease in your philosophies, in your beliefs, right? How do you choose to look at your life? Are you going to look at all the stuff that's not going right? Are you going to look for the love in everything? Are you going to look for the appreciation in everything and make life easy for yourself? You can push against or you can make it easy. It's all up to you. It's your choice, right? So I love that these two came out together like that too. And then, so if you look at the last card that came out, this is absolute ease. Watching clouds lie back, rest and relaxation. And it's funny because when I was getting the cards, I got to this one and I'm like, is that the last one? And universe said, no, one more from this deck. And this is the one that came out. And so this versus the first card that came out. So this the effort, here's the ease, right? This is the receptivity. This is the action. This, you can change this. You can change this. That's why this came out with both colors, you know, with the yellow into the orange, because action can be effort, like struggling action, and it could be inspired action, right? So this is moving from the yellow into the orange, moving from the effort action to the inspired action, to the flow and the ease where things happen more easily happen. Sometimes things even happen for you with less action. Like you don't even have to take that much action. But inspired action is a lot of fun. So it's not like not doing anything. It's more like doing it when you're in the flow, when you're at one with spirit and you're moving in that flow. That action is so, it's very productive, and it's very joyful action. But yeah, action, effort, and ease. So I hope all of that made sense. It's kind of like a really deep message this time, and but universe just wanted to lay all this out because I feel like some of you need to hear that and need to like change your thoughts and your beliefs on a deeper level so that your life can go a lot easier for you. Because we can apply this message to like career, and do a reading on career, or we could apply this to a message that's talking about looking for your soulmate or something like that. And it's like this message could be applied to those specific areas of life, and it would be the same thing if you get into the ease of looking for a relationship. You will find it. If you try too hard and just go on every single date, even if you don't feel like it, you'll just tire yourself out going on a lot of bad dates. So universe wanted to give you this kind of more general message so that you can apply this philosophy to all different areas of your life and make all of your life a lot easier. Okay, so I'm going to give you a look of the whole spread right here. There you go. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this reading, go ahead and click on the thumbs up, like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.